The covers, yeah, because you can protect the covers.
Covered is not a problem.
So yeah, so we thought that, and to give you, your team member would be
70s.
Ivan, to look at, you know, like which are relevant music covers to go on the walls of our Reno.
Well, if anyone's got the knowledge.
Yeah, exactly. Go with who's got the knowledge.
Well, I've still got all my vinyl.
Have you?
Yeah, I've got a lot of that.
Wow.
I'm just going to search and get a few.
And what would be good, I think, Persian, is if you sort of did them chronologically rather than just throw a mix in, you know, so when you sort of started, so when you finished, you know, how altered the music.
Good idea.
Yeah, great idea.
So, what preparation will music be played during the exhibition?
Yes.
Yeah, yes, has to be.
Has to be. It's not the Reno without music.
Classic Reno tune.
In what form? You mean physically being there playing the music?
We'll talk about that in a bit because, we'll talk about that in a bit. And we'll make decisions about that in a bit, how that should be, because I've had a great idea. But it's to do with, because when we realised, when I asked for money off the Arts Council, just open disclosure, I just thought we'll put some pictures on the walls and do whatever. And then when we've come up with our installation, I've not got enough money. That's not a problem. I just have to go to other funders for money. But once I start thinking about that, I have to think about how to sell them something they want. I can't just say we want something for the Reno. To get money, I always have to think.
You've got to give them something
back. Yeah. So then from that and all different discussions that we've had, I went to a meeting with the artists and Rob went, what do people think about now? Right, it's too much, we'll do Sean's first, and then I had a great idea, but that includes playing live music. Do you know what I mean, like in there? But we'll come to that idea after we've talked to Sean's, our next artistic collaborator. David, you won't have anything to feed back, unless you've got something to say.
A couple of weeks before I retired, before I left the group for a while, I was mentioning these pictures of them. But I've got this mirror, what I love at the back, and it's got like, it's a massive big mirror. It's got the Waddington Fury, Strange Rays, Manchester in it. It's got the Manchester Bee in the centre.
It can't be at the bar, but it can definitely be on that wall as we go in to represent the mirrors that we passed.
And I've got the other mirrors, what I was mentioning.
And we can build up a mirror section. When's that one from you're talking about? Is it like a 50s?
You slipped in and said something about the film you used to watch, Gone with the Wind. I said, well, I've got that poster in a big frame. And I said, I've also got Casablanca in a big frame.
No, but there are films, aren't they? There are Saturday afternoon, Sunday afternoon films, aren't they?
Play it again, Sam.
Those are the characters we thought we were when we went in the Reno. Aren't they?
Anyway, you have to come round.
Oh, them two's decided to turn up. Go on.
Round visitors before they sit it on and then see what I've got to offer.
No, definitely. That's going to have to happen in my flat as well. We're going to have to catalogue what's in my flat and make decisions about what is my flat.
Hi, everybody!
Hi, Happy New Year!
Happy New Year!
Why are you so late, girl? One.
Happy New Year.
Right, you're the same.
Happy New Year.
I'm nice.
Right, so Sean's our next artistic collaborator. So go on then, do what you was going to do.
Yeah, well, firstly I wanted to take an opportunity to thank Linda for getting me involved in this amazing project. As I've dipped in through the different workshops over the last couple of months, it's been amazing to hear you all talk and share your stories and give me a perspective on what it was like to live back then and what you went through at the time and why the Reno was so important to you as well. So what I thought it'd be nice, because you've all shared so much about yourselves, and we're about to work with each other for a long time now, at least a year. I thought it'd be nice that I kind of shared a little bit about who I am, my background, how I've grown up a little bit. Not too much, I'm not going to like sit here and just talk about myself for the next hour kind of thing. And then, yeah, see how I've got to the place I am now and why I'm interested in it, and why I'm into art, really. So, I'm from a small town on the Wirral called Elsingport. I don't know if you know it.
Yeah. Yes.
Right. Right, so many people know it.
Is that from Ellesmere Port?
The ships, man.
And the hospital.
Oh, no, the car factory.
Yeah, Vauxhalls.
Yeah, Vauxhalls, that's what I was thinking of. Vauxhalls. I went there when I was a kid, man.
Go on, Sean.
Yeah, I'm from a white working class family. I never really found myself through high school at all. Didn't really find a purpose for what I wanted to apply myself to until I found college. And then I really got into film and really looking at kind of the history of film and looking at culture, like old Italian movies and French movies and stuff like that. I remember this distinct feeling at the time, feeling a bit hard done by living so much of my life up to that time and just being watching shit for so long on TV. I felt I just, you know, there was a...
Sweeney wasn't that bad.
There was a doctor of mine who watched the Big Brother lots of times and this, but I felt a distinct feeling that a lot of my life had been wasted. And I felt, you know, and when I was seeing all these films, I really got to see a bit more of a wider scope of what the world was like, a little bit more, and that's why I kind of fell in love with film. And at the same time, I really got, you know, my love for music, kind of like, my dad got me into Korean classics. He used to go over to Liverpool and go Nation and stuff like that, and just go raving. No one else was into it, so I used to go over by myself and stuff, and just wanted to experience it a lot. And then I decided to come to Manchester.
You forgot the drugs, John.
Well, no, okay.
Yeah, the doves.
You've got to mention the doves. Remember the doves?
Yeah, come on.
The original doves in the
Don't tell us that bit, Sean. Come on.
No, well, I mean, when I got to Manchester, I got fully immersed in it all. I suppose what your soul music was is I'm techno, really. Totally immersed in it. Just all the drug culture as well. You know what I mean? The weed and
Hacienda.
Yeah, and it's been interesting listening to talk about the history of Reno, the alternative history to Manchester almost a little bit at a time, whereas like, you know, I had this obsession with Hacienda as well, and a love for Manchester and everything kind of stems from a love for like you know, house classics and stuff like that. But yeah, I got obsessed with it and got fully immersed in Manchester's club scene, and then till the point where I got absolutely destroyed. Really, I did it till I ran out and had a mental breakdown myself and stuff. And I was lucky enough I had a great set of friends around me that got me through that. But one of the other things that really got me through that was art and music. So how I explain how I'm an artist, it's not really through painting or kind of like traditional art forms. It's really my love for that space, which, you know, we've all felt enough for. Yeah. Right. Live arena where we express ourselves and experience music and, you know, get to know each other a little bit more. It's just what I'm obsessed with, you know what I mean? That's what I try to explore and see how we can do it in different ways moving forward, maybe. So yeah, that's basically how I've spent most of the last like 6-7 years. Is really, I do a lot of lighting as well, so I go out into raves, set lighting up, run all the lighting, do all the visuals for it, run my own parties as well. I ran a few techno parties when I was in university, but now it's turned into more giving a platform to performance artists. So people who are playing different musics or making instruments in different ways, different visual artists and stuff. So I've invited a lot of people from around the world to come to Manchester to show stuff to people who live here. And one of my main aims as an artist was to try and create a community in Manchester which enable people to express themselves or express different ways of different music, different art visuals and stuff like that. For 3 years I worked in a venue in Manchester called Texture, so that really gave me a lot of opportunity to kind of run these events and meet a lot of people, and that ended last year. And so since March I've been freelance and I've been able to kind of like delve into a lot more areas and work on projects like this. So I'm really looking forward to kind of this next year, working with all you to see what you all come up with. And seeing how you choose to express your culture as well.
All joking aside, go back, right, you know I might just go in for it. Go back to, you overdid it with the drugs, and what kind of breakdown did you have?
Just going out, like,
Burn
yourself
out.
Yeah.
Burn yourself out. We've all done that a million times.
Well, going back to what I was saying in college,
Bleaching.
going back to what I said in college, where I felt like I'd missed out a lot of my life, you know what I mean, it kind of floated me by as a kid and I never really found my place. I think when I got to university I just wanted to live it fully, live as much of it as I can, and living in Manchester at the time and having all the availability of drugs as well,
So you was
I had a student loan,
so
spent
you
a lot
was,
of it.
On drugs.
So you was a right little raver then, was you?
Yeah.
I like that.
And still am to it, like,
Yes,
really
so
cool, like,
right.
I've had to, when you burn yourself out and stuff like that, you realise I always wanted to keep being involved in the scene, but I realised early on that I'd have to be more part of the people who run it than the punters who go it, really, because that's the only way it can carry on and be part of it, really. And it's led to being part of this.
Otherwise
kind of
you
thing.
burn the candle at both ends, aren't you? And sooner or later you just disintegrate with it all. That's
Yeah.
how you your mind.
I think I fully believe it can be more than just taking drugs, though. You know what I mean?
What do you mean?
Well, I think it's, you know...
You can
and
still
it
do
may-
it and enjoy it without taking drugs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, definitely.
Yeah.
But people find it, the reason people take drugs is because they feel it makes them, it enables them to express themselves better. But it's, you know, there's got to be better ways of doing it. And you know, music and the power of music and visual art and the space and, you know, being able to like be with each other is, you know, can be that as well, hopefully. I mean,
You're still having a little dance.
Oh, Christmas Eve, I went into my flat with Edith Maloney. Him and Susie was twisted in the doorway. They didn't even know who I was.
Love it. Touch me, man.
Yeah.
so we've handled ourselves pretty well, like.
Yeah.
But it is always that Jacqueline Hyde thing, you know what I mean? It's always like, but that's part of it, isn't it? You know, and that's part of the culture.
Yeah.
That's
Learning
life.
curve.
It's like, you know, you have your blowouts, but then you feel, you know, you want to come back and you feel like.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's you know, a little introduction to me. And yeah, I mean, and just, yeah, that's what I wanted to say initially. I know Linda has got kind of a different kind of avenue where she wants to take today now, because, you know, explaining your idea about live and stuff.
But you can do live streaming, can't you?
Yeah, so a lot of my interest is in technology. I'm really interested in how people, because it's got to the stage now, but lots more people have a lot more access to it. So it enables you to kind of create more interesting things, like music, for example. You know, a lot of people have a lot more access to technology to make music in their bedroom, and you know, so there's a lot more interesting, different music happening now, whereas in the past, you know, there's a lot more kind of, I suppose,
Studios and all this.
Yeah, it's a lot more varied now.
Yeah.
But when we talk, Sean, though, you talk about missing the community. When we talk, our age group, we very much had community, didn't we? If we left here now, you could go on, let's go Reno. Right, and even though Persia might be playing reggae at this time, we just get stoned and then we'd wait. No, but early on in the evening, we would, wouldn't they? And then we just wait for people to turn up. But what younger people seem to talk about a lot is that's missing.
No, you know, I said it a while ago as well. Yeah, the community is something I yearn for.
Yeah.
And you know, that's what I was saying before. Why I do my projects is to help develop a community.
That's what we were saying before, wasn't it?
Yeah. No, it's how it's changed because we come from a very, very different environment, and everyone, say, besides yourself and my colleague over there, we've all been in the Reno, we've all shared that community at some stage of our lives, some for a couple of years, some for many years to finish.
We all
knew each other.
Rooms, whatever.
So it's knew each other from little babies and all sorts of different things. It's evolved on it music as well, because you've got all these different fusions, you know, with like grime. It's like grime didn't exist in the Reno, and you would never have took an E and gone to the Reno. No. You might have a little bit of whiz to keep you going, but
I had a few
it was weed.
A couple of trips.
No,
now and again.
No, not in the Reno. Two nutcases there.
No thanks.
We nearly got murdered in there for laughing, man.
Why did you take it though in that space? Why did it enhance? Why did it enhance?
When you smoke weed, even now to this day as an old man, I kind of feel the music inside me, not just my blood, in my head, and like notes, they run around in my brain. It's like, you know, when you listen to jazz, I get that feeling. You hear all the different instruments, and you just feel at one with the tune.
Everybody feels like you smoke joy, you're going to be like that.
Yeah, you don't. It wakens like the third eye, third mind. It goes, wow, I dig that.
I also think in a way as well, it's what you're saying, but people that have smoked weed for years or whatever, they smoke a weed, it chills them, they feel nice. They don't go on that, you know,
trip.
No, yeah, exactly. And I haven't smoked weed now for like 35 years.
Wow.
Yeah, last time I did it, I went on the floor and went in the fetal position, it just wiped me out. But I enjoy a drink. And I'm going back to what you said, I think it was from the time that when I did have a breakdown and came back and it took me a long time to get better, the thought of taking anything what I'd taken in the past sort of frightened me. So that's why I didn't go down that road. I don't knock anybody for doing it because it's part of anybody's life what they do.
It's your choice, isn't it?
It is your choice. So I will have a drink, but if I feel the music and the music's right for me, I don't need nothing else because I can hop, skip and jump in my kitchen, something comes on, I go, oh, you know?
Mine's my bedroom.
But the one thing that you were saying about a community, which is something that I've noticed, we've come back and we've come from a community. I've known Susie over there for a long time. She walked my kids. We were a community. I live in an area now where there is communities, but I'm not part of it. It's in the church or it's in a different church, different churches, or you go to the local pub and that's their community. I'm not in that. And I'm not being prejudiced and not being biased, but I miss my black community, if that makes sense, because that's what I was brought up in. So it's
home is where the heart
but it's a different thing. I still have all those good memories of Moss Side. I just don't live there anymore.
People ain't there anymore.
No, and
There's not
the
like a
sense
community
of
anymore.
Really, so whether you're there or not, there's no community.
no,
It's not like a
no,
community.
no.
Purpose split.
Yeah. So we've all got a different view and a different take on it.
I mean, I was saying before, I watched a documentary on the miners' strike yesterday, and when I listened to all the stuff that was happening around that time, I honestly feel, you know, there was a distinct effort to break up community.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah.
You know, they did it. There was a militarised government that went around this country and broke it up into bits. And you know what I mean, and that's my honest feeling.
It was like Vauxhall where you was from Ellesmere, that got crushed with the
I feel I've grown up in the aftermath of that.
When are you born, Sean?
I was born in '88.
Okay.
He's a baby.
After the riots, once the riots was done, slowly crept
Yeah.
up
Breaking
from
up the
from the
communities.
riots.
Right?
there. Yeah.
81.
Yeah, we
Stopped in
we
April.
still kind of had a community though, more than we have now in
And then
Bullring.
I think
You still had
you
neighbours
did,
that you could
'cause our
stand
friends
and
that
chill
lived
with.
there, I lived
Wasn't
in the
great,
old
but-
view. But I also think when all the bad boys and all the shootings
Yeah.
and everything like that happened, it broke because it was friends, children, not the friends, but their children that brought that fusion there together, that split friendships and families, and you had to take, they took sides.
It was the heroin and crack though that broke
Yeah,
broke
yeah.
to them heights.
There was a
The
lot
weed,
of
there was
stuff,
never, you had a bit of
wasn't
tax on
Yeah,
the
it
weed,
was
but
the
there was no madness.
You know,
The goods and the donuts.
and the pep bill and all that.
Yeah, I used to
That's
love the
go,
pepper, you know.
go downhill. So that stopped the feeling of family and
Yeah.
friends.
When families fighting against family, and you're
Exactly.
saying the same blood,
Yeah.
it's madness.
And some of those kids now that have grown up and are big kids like my kids, their children, when they've heard about it, still sometimes will hold a grudge over that one. And it should be done.
Yeah.
You know, but it isn't. But that was part of, like you're saying, that I lived over in Hume, and we had a community in Hume, because we still came to Moss Side, we still went to the Reno, we all went to the pubs in Hume. You know, that was
They
our
had
little
good
thing.
pubs as well.
That's great.
You know,
The white balls.
Your place.
All the shootings and everything off the news and taped it on.
so sorry, so you know that in a little bit like how you say, so how you're bringing it together and how, I think it's great what you're doing if you can get people to come together and make it a community. It's hard outside of a community to go in if you're not used to going into it. Like if I went somewhere now, people would probably look at me and think who she is, but I've lived where I've lived for 30 odd years, but they don't know me. That's not a community, is it?
True.
Isn't that me?
Just, you know, the whole thing about, you know,